Alrighty, hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm so excited for our next run coming up. Looking at the results of our bid war, it looks like we're going to be playing some Peggle Knights. Let's toss it on over to Satan herself.
Hello. My name is Helios WX. I'm actually a Peggle Deluxe main speedrunner, but I am top 5 in Knights. It's been a while since that run, but I'm very happy to commentate Satan's excellent gameplay coming up here for this really cool run. It's a very different style from typical Peggle speedrunning, random master only. So it'll be interesting. This is a fun marathon one.
Absolutely. Random Master Only differs specifically because it's an NG Plus run where we click that random button every single level. And that's going to give us one of 11 random Master Powers. We're just going to have to deal with the one that we get. It also means that we can't reset the level to get a new Master Power, which actually has a lot of implications in this run, and makes it very meaningfully different from every other Peggle category that exists.
And very entertaining to watch when you get the ones that aren't
ideal. For sure. It's also... Oh. No problem. The whole thing. Sorry, just to clarify. Okay. It looks like we need to do a little do-over. That's fine. I'm back. I'm here. Hello, my name is Satan herself, and welcome to Peggle Knights Random Master Only. Y'all donated towards that bid war and made it happen, so welcome to Peggle Knights. Peggle Knights is the sequel game, and it's my favorite out of the duo that we offered, so I'm pretty happy to be able to run it. It's also a marathon first. This is the first time that we've ever ran Peggle Knights Random Master Only, any of us in the Peggle community, and a marathon. So this is super fun. Really excited to show it off to y'all. And while I'm going to be running, I have another amazing Peggle player on couch with me. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello. My name is Helios WX. I'm actually a Peggle Deluxe main speedrunner, but I'm top 5 in Knights. It's been a while since that run, but I'm really excited to be here alongside Satan's excellent gameplay, showing off this really fun. It's a very fun category as an audience to watch because, like we said, it's a random master only. So we have to do a lot of adapting throughout the run, especially when you're in unideal situations. So it'll be really fun to watch.
Absolutely, yeah. Random Master Only means we're going to get a random power, 1 out of 11 every single level, and because the game chooses for us, we're not going to be able to restart the level to get a new power unless we die on it, which changes the run a lot. Lots of implications, and makes it extremely different from every other Peggle category that exists. Also, this is my baby. I came up with this category, so I always like to show it off. And my gameplay is very safety-focused, so I feel like I'm well-equipped for that, as opposed to somebody like Helios, who is just about speed. We play very differently. It's great.
Full send, you know.
Full send. All right. Well, time is going to start once I click Adventure, unless we get stage 13'd. Which can happen.
Oh,
Thank you, Peggle Knights.
This will be fun.
But we'll probably get stage 13. Let's be real.
There's 12 stages to Peggle Deluxe. Yeah, there's 12 stages to Peggle Knights, and occasionally when you hit Adventure, it bugs out and adds a 13th stage. So
yeah, it's really funny. Yeah, if that happens, no worries. I'll just click Adventure mode again, and we can start the timer still on the first click of Adventure. It doesn't matter. So
yeah, it takes like 5 seconds.
Don't worry about it.
And it's funny. Marathon first stage.
It's really funny. I love. It's genuinely very entertaining. I think I got stage 13 at Patel's, if I remember correctly. All right.
Second time.
I know, right? It's the Prevent-a-thon. If y'all were here for the Peggle World of Warcraft run earlier today, shout out to Brassbeat. We're bringing Prevent-a-thon back, and we are going to start as long as everyone is ready in a good 3, 2, 1. Did not get stage 13. All right.
Starting on stage 1.
No, starting on the first stage. Yes, I like this. Explain why we like this.
Okay, so we'll briefly explain why Peggle, or how Peggle works, for those of you who are familiar, and then we'll show on, we'll talk about our masters here. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Peggle, a lot of us are now in the speedrun scene. The objective of every level is to clear the 25 orange pegs on the board. Every arrangement of the pegs is the same every time you play through the game, but the oranges will change. And because it's an NG Plus run, we also have that purple peg you see hopping around there as a point booster. And we also have the green pegs, which are the master powers, which are essential to any Peggle speedrun, but especially random master only. Because you're not going through with your route in mind, your route's being decided as you go. So this first master we have here is Master Who is essentially an aimbot. You know, you hit the green, and he adjusts your next shot to be slightly better. And there is some really good RNG to start off the run here. Makes me scared for the end game. This is Marina, who is the last tower you usually see.
I did the wrong tap there. That's funny. No worries. There's usually a nice slide strat there, and we kind of got half of it. It's okay.
Yeah, still worked out.
But I can't restart the level to go ahead and try it again because, again, this is random master only. We can't let the game select a new master for us, so gotta just go with it. But yeah.
Yes, yeah, we can talk on openers here. Almost every level has a cool opener, so we'll squish it in somewhere here early.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so that's one of those situations where we have a strategy for a level, and if you mess it up, you actually can't, unless you throw the level on purpose, but then that resets your master. So if you have someone like Marina here, who's, actually we don't even need them for this level because it went so well.
Yeah, I don't think I can do anything with it. Yeah.
Yeah. This is one of the last powers you run into the normal game in adventure mode, and we're getting it here first in the first levels. So it helps me go very quickly. So you can see here, this will be one of those openers we talk about. Oh, and we got Claude. Oh boy.
Hello, Claude.
So we're going to pretty quickly see everybody's power here. Claude is essentially the game's pinball mechanic, giving some flippers on the bottom of the screen. For time save, we usually like to avoid Claude, though. He can kind of slow down the run sometimes. He can be helpful, especially for more safe strats of clearing levels. In terms of speed, though, I know he's usually one to avoid, which is kind of funny. But, so sometimes you're happy to see him, sometimes not. But you can see that opener that we did there where Satan moved the mouse all the way up to like the top right of the screen, tapped a few times. If you do that shot every single time, you will always get the same result. Peggle is a deterministic game of physics. So these openers, and we're going to do another one here, see a couple taps there up to the left, is going to get this same exact shot. As I was saying, the oranges kind of move around the level, but the structure level is always the same. So even though, and no matter what kind of Peggle run you're doing, okay, this is the Magic Hat, so this is a loaded master. You'll always get the same opening to the level, and then you can kind of play around it because you've expected how to start the level.
Yeah, this time we did not, because Warren gave us Space Blast, which is actually a different master's power. This is quite the thing to have happen. It ruined the structure of the level such that we could not do the shot we were planning on doing, which is, you know, a big thing. But that's what RMO is all about. It's all about adaptability, seeing what, you know, you get and working with it, with the game knowledge you have. It rewards a lot of experience. Wow, look at these masters. Hi, Tula!
Yeah, wow. Hi, Tula. So yeah, this is, Tula is one of the best powers in Peggle Knights. Actually got a buff from her version in Peggle Deluxe. Her power, well, we're gonna save everybody a few times here to talk about what they do. I want to keep track in the audience who shows up the most. But Tula's power, when you hit the green, will clear 20% of the orange pegs. But in Knights, that also means that the last one, the last shot of the green will always clear 2 oranges. In Deluxe, it's only 1. So, a bit of a buff you can see here. Rather than clear those 2 oranges yourself, hit the green in plain view.
If we
didn't have Tula by random pick, that'd been a lot harder. And we got Cinder here. This is a perfect Cinder level.
Oh my goodness! Like, what is happening?
Wow, this is...
What happened? Chat, your bid war, it seemed to, like, really please the game. I don't know.
Yeah, this is scary. Makes me worried about the end of the run.
I hope we just continue this luck. I would not complain.
Exactly.
I would not.
Yeah, there's been talks about how Peggle may or may not be seeding our runs. We have not unlocked that science yet, so we're still kind of at the luck of the draw. Yeah, I think PvZ, like Plants vs. Zombies, the PopCap game, actually was able to figure out some seeding stuff for their random. Satan can definitely talk on that.
I can,
Peggle still remains a mystery.
Yeah, I definitely can later, but for now, I feel
not
like
now, but yeah.
For now, I feel like we can throw to 3-pup if there's anything that we need to say, because the next couple levels are, I think, we don't need to explain too much yet. Oh, any percent.
Yeah. Any percent, yeah. So Jamie's the power you normally have here.
Yep. All right, 3Pup,
Yeah.
you got anything for us?
Yes, actually, we do have one donation here from a familiar face. $10 from one Helios WX. It just says Peggle.
I don't okay.
Peggle.
He's only fifth
Wow.
place, though. It's not.
Yeah,
Speaking
only
of donations, I did want to introduce a new bid war a new bid war incentive that just opened up for
Ooh,
a
exciting.
run coming up tomorrow for Backpack Hero. We have costume bid wars for all 3 characters.
Very
It will
cool.
change the appearance of of each of the 3 characters that will be seen during our run. There are quite a few options, so type !donate in chat if you wanted to see what's available.
Okay, get that fashion, yeah.
That's amazing. I was
That was a
just
fun little
playing
game, right? Yeah.
Backpack Hero for the first ever time. I played the demo a couple days ago, and it was fantastic. I really loved it. So definitely get those in. There are some really cute characters in that game. I think that is a great bid war. Amazing.
Agreed. So yeah, this is a good case here with this level, where we were just talking about how whose power is really good. It's essentially an aimbot that'll adjust your shot to be a little bit better based on points. So better is very subjective from a speedrunner standpoint, especially for me. I've been burned by him sometimes. He goes for points to adjust your shots, which are sometimes not clearing the level, clearing the oranges points. So you'll have levels like this, which are very brick heavy, they're very hard to break into, that who may not be actually the best to find all these, small openings and things. So
you can see
like
that
here,
right there.
see that?
I did not give him much opportunity to go to the purple, which has a lot of points attached to it, but he still found a way anyways. Thanks, Who.
leaving a majority of the oranges still on.
Now, oranges are
there.
worth a fair amount of points, so that is why they programmed it like that. But still, come on.
Another gym. We're just
We're
getting
any
gymmers at
percenting again.
levels. Yeah.
See, he's
So, yeah,
right
often-
here. If we can explain it with the visual aid.
Yeah. So, what was I saying? Yeah. So, often with RMO, you'll get, even though you'll get a good master, it may not be the ideal master for the level. And this is what differs RMO from other categories, like a true NG plus run, where you can choose your own master throughout the entire run. So on a level like this, you would probably not pick Jimmy. On that last level, you would probably not pick Who. But they're still alright masters. So it's like, again, you don't know what you're getting into until you see the level. So you got to have a lot of strategies in mind. Like, oh, if I get Cinder, we're in the clear. This level is a cakewalk.
Also,
but if I
that's Jimmy's
get Tut
power
Tut,
we just
oh,
saw
no.
there, which is multi-ball, which makes a ball sprout out of your ball when you hit the green. Peggle's a game.
Nice. Yeah, another one where kind of avoided the green because Jimmy's a little unpredictable. If he's in a good spot, he can be helpful. Oh, this is another one where Tula's really good, but not the most ideal for this. Already get that slide?
So good,
nice.
though. That's a nice
That is
glitch
another
shot.
type of opener.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
pixel
Ooh.
shot, actually. Which means that I do
Yeah.
have to be aiming pixel perfect there. Peggle is old enough that you can do that. And we do. We really do.
Make me feel old, but yeah. So yeah, Peggle's background art and the actual pegs themselves, it's 600 by 800 resolution. I don't know if it's the full window or just the background.
I think so.
But yeah, it's locked into this unless you go full screen, but actually it's even better in full screen to see that. You can actually see the background pixels in the artwork and the pegs, and because like we were mentioning earlier, Peggle is deterministic, not only can you set up shots like going all the way to the left, all the way to the right, if you aim at the same exact pixel every time, which again, most are actually fairly visible without, you sometimes have to lean in, you can recreate an opener every time with these pixel shots. And over the past, I'd say year and a half or so, both games have gone under a bit of a revolution in strategies through these pixel shots. It's what allowed both of these games to drop significantly in their speedrun times due to just these openers shredding levels. And speaking of shredding levels, here's a great one where in any percent you have Renfield the Pumpkin, who we hope not to see in a speedrun because of a speed run, versus Cinder is, I think, the ideal pick on this level.
It
or
is.
One of the
This
ideal
is an
picks.
NG plus pick, yeah.
Yeah.
Which means, yeah,
Anytime
we
you
would pick
see,
him
like-
in NG plus.
Yeah, all of these very brick-heavy levels that are hard to break into, you want someone like Cinder. Someone like,
That was
or even
quite
like Marina.
fast, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
For an RMO play of that.
Oh, see, and this is a bad roll here. So we're
Yeah.
gonna do an opener, but we're gonna see the power of Jimmy.
No, Jimmy.
Yep.
Oh,
Ah.
no, Jimmy.
So
Come
that is an
on.
opener that was done correctly, but part of Jimmy, this is why Jimmy's not the fan favorite in terms of speedrunning, is he's a great guy, but he will ruin your
great guy.
openers. He'll ruin your he's there for he pops up in the corner and gives some advice and some motivation. But he will ruin your openers if it's in the way. And as we said before, RMO differs from all other categories in that you are actually not allowed to reset any level on purpose, unless you throw the level. So if you wanted to not use Jimmy here, but keep your speedrun valid, you could just lose on purpose. We're obviously going to try to beat it because Satan's really good at the game. But as I said, this is a pretty nice level as well. But there may be cases like that where, our plan is just interrupted by the luck of the draw. This is a really good roll here, because this level is just not
First time
fun.
we see him, so we can explain that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
not
first time we see him
technically.
expected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
We might
Magic
have
has
seen
steals from other
Warren
masters.
before.
But Flork's powers is Space Blast, which he's actually in very nice locations for this as well.
Especially for my opener set.
Blasting out the pegs in the radius. And this should...
Yeah, nice
Whee!
little slide here. That was
Yeah.
a combination of tap and pixel shot openers, so you can mix and match them any way you want. There's a ton of variety and strategies for this game, and there's a lot of new stuff being found all the time. If you like strat hunting, Peggle is a perfect game for that.
Yeah, come strat hunter with us. We're trying to get Peggle Deluxe under 45 minutes. It's absurd.
Actually, that is absurd. I kind of still can't fathom that that's even realistic for us right now.
Yeah. I don't know where Night's Limit's at, but it feels like every day. Like I've actually not done any significant speedrunning in a month or so, just kind of taking a break away from it. And I'm looking back at the games now, it's like half the game is different because just everybody's finding new strategies just randomly. Because part of the fun is that, you can strat hunt, you can try different things I think this will work. But a lot of strategies in Peggle come from just try, oh no.
And we're any percenting at the
no,
worst
this is the
possible
worst spot
time.
for him. So this is Renfield. Here, we'll get to the strategies in a second. So this is Renfield the Pumpkin.
Look at him.
Actually, a very strong master, unless you're speedrunning. What he does is he loops the ball around a second time, which we'll see if we hit him and actually be able to avoid him.
I am gonna try my best.
This would be cool. Maybe, ideally, we don't show you what he does. But the ball wraps around a second time once it hits, because as we know, when we see it hit the bottom of the level, it either goes in the bucket and gives you a free ball back, or just misses entirely. And here we go.
That's all right.
So there you go.
Probably easier to have that peg gone, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
So he loops around and will hit more pegs on the second pass, which is great for full clearing the level, for just clearing the level in general. But if you're going for raw speed, obviously a second pass of the level will take up a lot of that time. Okay, but it did. It threaded that top right there.
Take a look at this. That's just time loss that we have to eat. We can't do anything about that at all.
Ooh, that was nice.
Yeah, I needed to clear some of that out, unfortunately. And
unfortunately, this is also one of his hardest levels that you get in any adventure mode. So, rolling Renfield here, obviously expert work done there, but Jimmy's not too bad here. On levels like these where you kind of have pegs chaotically scattered around, Jimmy is usually pretty fine because Jimmy just works chaotically. So it's chaos theory at its best here.
Really pretty pixel shot here that goes ahead and just gets that whole slide. I did that one wrong, so, I think. Oh well, it still works pretty well.
Before we move on to the next section of levels, which I believe are not as stratted, kind of talking about the strats themselves again. So yeah, it's kind of funny, when we talk about Peggle strat hunting, the majority of them come from the fact that as you're doing a speed run, you'll just find something really cool. And you'll be like, wow, how do I recreate that? And then you'll get a team of people spend a couple hours trying to find that same pixel. The current world record holder in Peggle Deluxe, Jay Nano, is really good at this. Just kind of I know we'll send a video of a clip, you're like, how do we do this shot? And 10 minutes later, he'll have the pixel for you. So it's a really fun scene it's a constantly evolving game in terms of the strategies.
Truly, if you see a run now, this run's probably going to be outdated. Maybe already is in 2 minutes.
Yeah, someone's probably running this right now, figuring something out.
Yeah. Exactly.
Clean work on a very difficult
level can be a real pain, so I'm very happy that it was Satan Love seeing that.
Nice. Okay, and now Cat Tut's levels, and they're okay. This is a Jimmy
More Jimmy.
run here.
We haven't seen Cat, by the way. How far can we go?
I don't know. It would be nice. Yeah. So Cat Tut's power, we haven't seen him yet, but in his levels is a pyramid at the bottom of the screen. It extends the edges of the ball bucket for last-second reprieves. Once again, not the best for speedrunning, but he's a little bit more safe. So some levels, it actually is kind of nice to see him in terms of like, oh, this level's really difficult. I can play safer because he's here. But definitely one of the slowest, and more often than not, he will actually just kind of extend your shot and then lose anyway.
Yeah, and
So
that's
he's not
Cat,
ideal.
who we do not have. We have Jimmy again, but Jimmy's still
Yeah.
not that much better for this level. So we're trying to play nice and safe here.
So yeah, I guess one of the last things we're kind of watching in terms of like a main gameplay mechanic here, especially with more difficult masters like Jimmy, or like if you see someone like Renfield or Cat Tut, that happens less so with the stronger masters, is playing around getting the balls back. So you have 25 orange pegs, but only 10 balls. So it's this constant battle of trying to get as many orange pegs as you can per shot, but also when you're down to a situation like this, where you have 4 left and 3 balls, nice. We're doing these free ball skills to try to land the ball back in the bucket. We're gonna do a cool shot here to nice clip it in there. A lot of the practice with these shots here to conserve getting all those balls back, because if you land in the bucket, you get a free ball back. If you score a certain Tula's great here. A certain number of points, you get a ball back. I think it's 2,500 or 25,000 points back. Peggle's point system is ridiculous. That's what makes it so fun and charming. And we see we already have almost 6 million points.
Yes.
20 levels into the game.
Whatever. Yeah. Why
So
not?
Peggle at its core is a score game. It's an arcade score grinding game. So a lot of like the challenges and everything else, even again the core mechanics of the game, like getting the free balls back and so on, are based around score. So as speedrunners, we actually play into that. Like I said, the free ball skills, you can chain those to get like mad skills and so on for extra points. But they can also be helpful in a speedrun context. You know, knowing when to slow down and focus on those, or when to full send it because you know when they're clear. Like someone like Tula, you can be a lot more confident in full sending the level because you know that you're just going to rack up points a lot quicker. It's a bit more safer and so on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's just kind of
slide,
nice.
maybe hit the purple. Nice.
Yeah, although Tula does have a slight unintentional side effect of sometimes when she removes those oranges, she will mess up an opener, so she did kind of do that to me this time. I would have taken an extra slide if she wasn't here, but no big deal.
Yeah.
It worked out. Oh, hello.
Okay. And there he is. Okay, so we'll see his power here in a minute. But being a slower master and a relatively slow level, if there's anything to add from 3Pup, this is a good time for about a minute or so.
Yes, of course. Thank you. We have a donation here from our last runner, Koila. $10. Thank you, Koila. That run was incredible. Love seeing Celeste. Never get tired of it. But yeah, and then also just a quick reminder about another one of our incentives we have open tomorrow for the Sonic CD Restored run. It's a Ultimate Tails mod. Gives Tails one of Sonic's moves to make him even more overpowered than he already is. So, of course, that runs tomorrow, but if you want to get a good head start on it now, please get those donations in. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you.
Woo.
Yeah, I want to see that. That is an ultimate powered up Tails. Tails is one of my favorite Sonic characters, always has been. Big Tails fan here, so I would absolutely love to see that. That would be incredible. And every single one of your donations also goes to that bonus game. My goodness, Spin Rhythm XD. That's gonna be awesome if we can get that too. So. Can't wait for that. Well, all right. That's okay. That actually artificially sets us up for a slide here. Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks, game.
So yeah. See, this will look cool.
Yeah.
Here.
If we
This is, I think, one of Knight's best levels.
Oh, don't go back in there. Whoa! All
Yay, got it
right.
anyway.
Pretty.
It's the beauty of Peggles. You never know what you're gonna.
You never know what you're gonna get.
You're always clip farming when you're speedrunning Peggle.
Yeah. One
always
thing
make
that
sure full
makes
shot.
this level a little bit more difficult than it otherwise would be is these pegs are actually moving. if they were not, we could get that slide really, really consistently. We would have probably a pixel shot that would get those slides every single time. But because they're moving, we actually have to time it correctly, or just do it by feel. Depends on who you are. And sometimes it doesn't quite work. But yep, it's Peggle, so sometimes good things can happen for you anyway. Especially Peggle Knights. Peggle Knights is a little bit different than Peggle Deluxe in that it has more of these kinds of line structures, things you can get big slides on, cool stuff like that.
But at that, it also, this is the Deluxe main talking. No, fun banter between the games. But yeah, Knights has a lot more of these moving pegs. So it tends to be a little bit more difficult, especially like with strat hunting, just because, like I said, it's harder to set things up consistently to start levels if everything's moving. So like levels like this, where everything is
there's
blocked
no strategy.
off.
Nobody's ever made a strategy for this level, I don't think.
Yeah, there's a few that at this moment. Yeah, there's no rigid strategy. There's ideas like, oh, like always go to the sides first, then work your way in. Things like that you can do. What's a really good pick here for this level?
Yeah, Splork
this is a level where if you get a bad master, it's this is difficult in adventure mode. This is usually where a lot of adventure mode levels die, or runs die, because you have Cat Tut here, that pyramid power. It just does not suit him well.
No.
So getting Splork here is a very good role for a very nice clear.
We also got something bonus for safety that's very useful for Splork. Splork gets it a lot of the time. Was a free ball from points. So you can get a free ball by going into the ball bucket, which I've demonstrated before. But you can also get it by getting 25,000 points in a single shot. And you can increase that likelihood of doing that by getting more oranges. Every orange you get... I know, Jimmy. Yay. Every single orange you get lights up this little fever meter on the side, so you can see that happen at the bottom right now. And what that does is it actually gives a point multiplier to every peg you hit when you hit it. So that'll give you bonus points, and that helps you out. If you have full multiplier, so 10x up on that top, you can get a purple peg and either 2 orange pegs or 4 blue pegs to get a free ball automatically. So runners can kind of use that knowledge to their advantage and be able to plan shots in advance. Splork is especially helpful because it gets a lot of pegs at once.
Take notes, those numbers will be on the test.
No, they won't.
I don't remember them half the time either. But yeah, it's, you get that feel as a speedrun, like all these like little things. Speaking of little things, this is we were talking about those spinners. This level also
actually it has this though, like for real.
Nice, that was very good.
That was
another
quite
very
good
difficult level
for a Jimmy clear. Yeah, I'll take it.
See, this is one where like who's great, he works, but like man, like you would love like Cinder on this level, or like Marina would just tear through it even faster. I'm not complaining about who here. Well, kind of complaining about who after that one.
Well, but at least I was able to avoid the opener that I knew was going to be really good on that side.
Yeah, he kept it. That's good. He had a chance to
there's
mess
a lot
it
of
up.
strategy with where do you aim to preserve your openers? Where do you aim based on where the purple is? Because, who's often going to find his way to the purple anyway? So you might want to aim where the purple is just to let him get it out of his system. And then he can get a better shot for you. Stuff like that. Peggle is full of strategy, and RMO's really the place where it gets to shine the most. Is just like knowing everything about the game really helps you understand what to do in tricky situations. Definitely a veteran category.
Yeah, already what makes Peggle speedrunning different than a lot of games is being an arcade-based game with this element of the oranges always being different spots, is that no matter how much you plan, it is like statistically impossible for any 2 run to be the same ever. So even in your just base adventure mode speedruns, it's always going to be different. It's always up to the runner to adapt to what's going on, no matter how much you plan for it.
Nice.
So a run like RMO takes that to the extreme, obviously, as we've been talking about, introducing that extra elements
of... That's not what we're playing. But yeah, exactly.
Sorry,
Continue.
Wow. No, sorry.
But also, wow.
This is a very difficult level, too, that Marina just destroyed. That was super clean.
That was great.
Now this is what you want. This is a good level for Cinder.
Yeah, although we might not get to show off the slide. No, we have not seen Bjorn once.
Oh man,
we're big Bjorn fans.
Yeah, where's he at? He's busy. Yeah, he's busy running the institute. He's the Peggle lore master.
But yeah, there we set up for that slide. There are also pixel shots that set up for that slide, but I decide not to risk it because it's just so good. I want to
Yeah,
wanted
it's one
to
of the
show
nice
this line. It's
things.
pretty.
Yeah, this is where I think Knight's level design shines the most, is a level like this, where these big sweeping motions that you can set up. But yeah, what's fun about it, we've been kind of talking about this with Peggle strategies and Peggle speedrunning. You don't have to do these to do a Peggle speedrun, which I think makes it's an incredibly inviting game, especially as a new speedrunner. It's the first game I ever speedran a few years ago, and I've stuck with it as my really only game I've ever speedrun, except for Minecraft.
Here he is. We summoned
there
him.
He is.
He's
my
here.
It's so beginner friendly because you don't have to do these, pixel perfect shots to these exact timings and all these things. You can just play the game, and that counts as a speedrun.
Yeah,
so it's really cool. It's like you can decide how advanced you want to go based on what you feel comfortable doing. All the practice you put into it, you can just have fun with it, or you can really grind these like difficult strats. And we're showing off like a really good mix of them. Again, kind of at the mercy of RMO as well. You're like, oh, I really want to do this strat, but I know Jimmy's gonna mess it up and so on. So this is like the pinnacle showcase of everything, because you are seeing a little bit of everything here.
Also, better strats doesn't always mean faster overall runs, because Peggle is extremely skill-based, and also has RNG. So it's like a mix of kind of everything that you could
all
want
these
in a speedrun.
strats and all these openers that we talk about, they're just that. They're openers to the level. No one opener. I think the only exception is that on a perfect generation, you can clear the last level of Peggle Deluxe in one shot if everything goes perfectly.
There are videos on YouTube. It's brilliant. Go watch them.
Yeah.
Also,
other than that,
WoW 2.1 is kind of close to being solved-ish.
Yeah, you could probably.
Yeah.
Sorta. So there's always like these openers, everything will set you up for consistency. They'll help clear the level very quickly, but there will always be elements of you as the runner having to pick up the rest of the work on the fly every time you play, which is what makes it such a fun and engaging game, not only to watch but to also play. Just because, like I said, if you pick up this game yourself, your run will look very different from what you're watching right now, even if you have all the same strats.
Absolutely. Like, this game is just so sustainable as a speedrun. I've been running this game for years. I don't see myself maybe ever stopping. Like, it's like for real. It's just it's
so fun. You always come back to it. It's such a charming. It's just got so much charm too, being like one of the a lot of us grew up with this game. And then, took the years off in middle school when it wasn't cool. And then now we're finding it again as adults, or, oh, wow, I remember Peggle, I grew up with this. And a lot of people, it's cool showing this off at speedrun, marathons like this, because it's the same thing. You have so many people in the audience who are like, oh, it's Peggle, I didn't know you could speedrun that. And so on. Because especially Peggle Knights itself, as the deluxe person, Satan makes fun of me every time I say this. I think Knights is the better game.
I know, I love when you say that. It's my favorite line. I'm like,
I prefer speedrunning deluxe for a lot of the strategies, but Peggle Knights is a lot more. It has a lot more character, a lot more fleshing out of the personalities of the Peggle Masters and everything. They're not just power that you hit the green and help you through the level. If you stop and read all of the little dialogue boxes and everything between these, look at the level background art, there's a lot to go off of to discover in these games that just keep you coming back and having a lot of fun in the community with all the little head cannons and things. Satan pioneered a lot of that. But there's just so much buried in this little game. It's just so fun.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And Peggle does not stop at Peggle Knights or Peggle Deluxe even. There are two more mainline Peggle games that kind of are in the original style. Peggle Extreme and Peggle World of Warcraft Edition. World of Warcraft Edition you might have seen if you were here earlier today. Brassbeat ran it, another amazing member of our community. Both of those are free games and they are both crossovers, which is just fantastic. So you can download them now, today. You can play Peggle no matter what, as long as you have access to a PC that can run it. You can do it.
Or Xbox. And even at that, Peggle Knights and Peggle Deluxe are $5 on Steam when they're not on sale. So very, very welcoming, very opening.
Also, we're seeing Warren for the second time, so we can finally explain what he actually does.
On a not super near level, this is one of the.
Yeah, this
is a level where you really want someone like Cinder or Marina, and getting anybody else is kind of rough. So, what Warren's power does, and for those of you who are fans of the Doug community, who actually brought a lot of us into Peggle speedrunning, I know Satan was actually one of the members who was before the Doug era. I was brought in by him. The fans of the Magic Hat of Warren, Warren's power is a wheel that rolls every time you hit it. So just adding some more RNG into this run, why don't we? Where you can get triple your score. You can, well, not in this game, but in Peggle Deluxe, you can get a free ball back for free.
No greens, by the way. Clear Bible power.
Yeah, wow, nice. That's a
very hard to do, actually.
Yeah, Spark's good here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can get triple your score. In this game, you can roll the magic hat itself, which gives your hat a very dapper-looking magic hat, who is a collisionless hitbox that sits over the peg, and not only allows you to pick up some extra pegs, but you can use it if you aim your shots and bounce them right to get some really cool sweeps of pegs of difficult things to hit. So the magic hat itself is a very nice power. It's just very hard to roll. Because it's a 25% chance in Deluxe, and it's a 50% chance in Knights. We didn't see it there on the wheel, or maybe we did, we just went so fast.
No, I didn't hit a green at all.
Didn't even hit a green. Okay, so we talked about him, didn't even see it. So maybe he'll show up again. But yeah, the hat is a very nice...
Wow. Oh, look
that
at
was nice.
Peggle.
That,
I love Peggle.
I believe that was planned, wink, wink.
Yeah,
right?
totally. Yeah, yeah.
See, that's what keeps it coming back, is like the chance for those really cool clips and stuff.
Gorgeous.
But yeah, see, I was just saying, Warren is a wheel that will pick, at random, if we think. I don't know if there's any internal logic to that we've discovered yet. But he'll pick at random that, or he'll give you one of the other master's powers. We saw that earlier. We saw Splork before he debuted. We saw that Space Blast because Warren rolled it instead.
Yep.
When you play through an adventure mode, he can...
Oh, go ahead. Please continue.
I would say that the last note is that in adventure mode, you can only get masters you've seen before. And Warren's one of the latest masters, except for, like, I think there's 3 that come after him. So in adventure mode, you won't see, like, Cinder or Who, but because this is NG+, you can see anybody. So Warren is a bit better in NG+ runs because you have access to some of the better masters at the end of the game. Anyway, go on.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to note that we have Claude in a Claude level. So we're any percenting. You can even see him down here. The gimmick of Peggle Knights, by the way, and one of the reasons it's so charming, is that they decided that the story for Peggle Knights was going to be that every Peggle master was going to have a dream of what they would be doing if they were not a Peggle master. And as it happens, Claude's dream is to become a kaiju and rampage across France.
We've all been there.
Yep. Tula, it's a travel world, a lot nicer. And we are into the levels intended for Tula, although this level's actually probably better done with Cinder, so happy to see it.
Yeah, this is a... Oh, I see. Look at that line there. There. Oh, okay. The ball.
It's still all right. Not bad.
Why France? Because he's Claude. I don't know.
Thank you, Helios. Very cool. That note, 3Pup, do you have anything that you want to add? Sorry, I'm bullying Helios.
It's 2 a.m. There you go.
Yeah, I just wanted to take a little break to remind folks that Little Warriors, the charity we're raising money for, is a Canada-based charity, so all donations are in Canadian dollars. Mm-hmm. 1 Canadian dollar is about 72 cents, which means if you're in the US, you don't have to donate $14.42 in order to donate $20 Canadian to the cause. And you can put that little extra bang for your buck towards one of our great incentives, or if you can't necessarily choose, you can also split your incentives. Maybe put some of it towards that Ultimate Tales mod, and some of it towards one of the backpack hero costumes.
Ooh. Absolutely, yeah. Your money goes even further in this marathon because of that CAD conversion. So that is super, super cool. You're donating more than you think you even are when you donate to Prevent-a-thon. It's magic. Magic. Go try it. I promise. You'll get to the little payout screen. You'll go, oh my goodness, that's so cool.
Whoa.
If, of course, you're not donating in TCAD yourself. But yeah, we have Claude for this one, which...
This is interesting.
I think the side mechanic of Claude I'm going to show here, which is that Claude kind of restricts where the ball bucket can go. So it actually makes for easier free balls. So there's one little, perk there.
Yeah, so you can see that level was cut a little bit more close. This is one of the more difficult ones.
Yeah, this one's been a run killer for me lately, so I'm glad at least we didn't lose. Oh, Tula.
Hey, here's any percent. This is a good any percent because these are Tula's levels, so getting her here, these levels are mostly designed around Tula, I think, except the next one's kind of, but as we're seeing, like you tend to see a lot more excitement towards rolling somebody like Cinder, or Tula's good for Tula's one of the fastest individual master speedruns of the game.
She is
for
the
a good
fastest
reason.
one now.
She is
I
the
think.
fastest.
Yep, pretty sure Whale
Nice.
smoked that the other day. So yeah.
So he probably hasn't uploaded it to speedrun.com yet because he's bad at that. But yeah, like Tula and Cinder and Marina tends to be the fastest individual master speedruns of the game. So like we were talking before, how you can do NG plus run. You can also just pick the same master every time instead of picking the ideal master. So running Tula the entire time. If you really want, you can run Cat Tut the entire time. I don't recommend it for your mental health, but you can.
But you can.
Peggle has something for everybody.
Yes, those
So,
are called individual
here's a
master
good one.
categories, and they're super fun. You get to get really familiar with a character, which I think is just kind of good practice. And
Yeah, they're
fun. It
good
just adds a lot of
for-
variety. You don't have to do the same
They're-
category over and over again.
Yeah, they're good for runs like this where you can run into anybody. It's practice for, what if I get Cat Tut on this level? You'd be ready for it because you've played him for like 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If
See,
you
this is
wanted
one where,
to
like,
do that
who's
to
all
yourself.
right.
Yeah, it's
No.
all right. But I appreciate the clear out of the oranges there. If you can work with
Yeah, that was
him
a good
and
one.
make a shot that doesn't get all the purples, then you're pretty happy.
Like, who's probably gonna? Yeah, that purple's a really good.
Very
Just
good
random
purple
placement there, too.
generation.
Nice.
Yeah, allowed us to
So
get a
who
lot
works-
of oranges there.
There's Whale. Hello. What was your time? Well,
Oh, Whale's in chat? Let's go.
yeah.
Whale
it
11 is
under-
the Knight's Master right now, just smoking a lot of the categories, setting new records every day. It's
and
pretty
current
awesome.
world record holder, right?
Yes,
in any percent?
in any percent. Yes,
Yes.
Correct.
So, yeah, it is wild. When you think about the pace of these levels, on average, you're doing about a minute per level, or a minute per level?
Ish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ish. So, some will be quicker, some will be longer. In any percent, that is also true. But in RMO, it's a little bit more variable. Obviously, you could get a really good master and sweep a level in 30 seconds. You also get a really bad master and take like a minute and a half just to get through it safely.
Or you can lose, which we
So-
haven't seen yet, but you can, and it's pretty common, in fact.
so why now we're jinxing it.
many top runs have losses in them. That's very common. Yeah.
As it is not uncommon for top speedrunners to just lose levels and just restart their run. I know personally, a lot of runs do that. They die in the first like 2 levels. You're like, all right, let me just try again.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, as skill-based as this game is, there is also a lot of luck.
Yeah.
And so a lot of variables that go into. It's very hard to get a clean run consistently in Peggle, so it's really cool.
So this
like,
is
this is
one
a
of the
level where you want
trickiest
Cinder.
RMO.
Even with someone like Tula, this is really difficult. We're gonna do a cold pixel shot here to.
Not quite. I missed it
Just
by like
over.
1 or 2. That's okay. It still opens up the circle. Yeah, this is one where it's really designed for Cinder, that big fireball that you saw earlier. Obviously, that's supposed to just tear through this circle here, but we don't have that, so we have to just kind of make do with what we do have.
Yeah, but again, we got Tula, so it's still
So
pretty
that's
good.
not that
If we
bad.
rolled like Tut here, it'd be a lot harder. Oh, that's
Oh,
clean.
that's cool.
Nice.
All right. I don't know if we're gonna win still. This is a tough gen, but we'll see.
Yeah, everything's kind of stacked though. So yeah, this is one of like
That's
the
good. I like
general
the free ball from
playstyle
points.
strategies. As we saw here, because we knew we were in a tough situation with not having the ideal master, Satan cleared the entire right side together. Because as we were talking about getting the free balls back, if you hit more oranges, it's a lot easier to get points to get the free balls. If you have 3 oranges here, okay, only hitting 1. And actually, because we have Tula,
We'll be fine.
Bam. Easy.
Look at that. Not bad. I will
kind of
take that
playing
clear.
into the level itself, knowing how the level works, which just comes from the repeated. I don't know how many runs you've done of this. If you have a light split open, how
I
many?
don't. Yeah.
Yeah, hundreds of these kind of runs. Just the familiarity with the levels, and go, oh, if I do this angle, I know this will work. Oh, if I clear this side, I know it'll probably end with this really good thing. There's a lot of that practice and intuition. It's like riding a bike. I know, like I said before, like I've taken like a month off of speedrunning, come back in, and you just remember it all like it's nothing. It's a lot of muscle memory within it. That's really cool. Understanding these levels. That's why people tend to prefer like certain games or like certain levels, because they just know them really intuitively.
Yeah, night side stuff I certainly know better intuitively, even though I've spent quite a few hours in Deluxe. Certainly. Just nights, it feels better to play. I understand it.
Yeah.
Both great games, though.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. Absolutely wonderful.
So yeah, like here's where Bjorn shines. That super guide. Like that was a really tricky shot. Bjorn just cakewalk, easy. Note though that makes Bjorn a little more difficult in Knights is that he doesn't work on those moving pegs. So that super guide power just by default does not work for some reason. It was just coded to not do that. So unfortunately, he can be a bit of a hindrance. This okay. This is
we have 4 though. So what I am going to do is I'm gonna clear that. Oof, not quite. Okay, that's okay. We're doing some really interesting strategy here, actually, where I'm specifically clearing some pegs. And then we're gonna go for that. Really?
Oh,
Wow.
man.
Yeah, that's the moving peg thing we were just talking about. It can sometimes just make it so that a shot that you think is going to work doesn't bounce quite the way that you wanted it to. Wow, that's unfortunate. That was definitely a possible clear there. Ah, well.
Yep, like we were saying, even for top runners, it still happens.
Absolutely, especially in
It's
RMO.
just the name of the game.
Yep, this is already a hard level, even with Cinder, which is the intended master. So, you know, having to do it with someone who's less good, you know, even more difficult.
We rolled Tula. So.
Not too bad.
Yeah, win.
Yeah, hopefully we'll go ahead and win this, but, you know, we don't know until we do it.
Yup. So as we were kind of like saying before we got some exciting stuff there in the levels, what's cool about these games is you spend an average of a minute per level. So Deluxe has 55 levels, Knights has 5 extra with the addition of Marina, so 60 levels. On average, if you do a minute per level, your run should be about an hour long. And the current record for Peggle Knights is 56 minutes. So if you think you spend a minute per level, that is 60 minutes, and that's already a very fast pace. That is about 4 minutes below that. So just edging off a couple of seconds every level builds up so much. And that's why these openers and these consistent angles and everything are so important. Because if you save a second every level, that adds up to a minute over the course of your run, right? 1 second, 60 times, and so on. And a big mechanic of that, and it's something that I'm trying to work on some science for, is the fever at the end, which we haven't really talked about too much because it doesn't really get the spotlight until it becomes a problem. Is at the end of every level, Peggle's famous little Ode to Joy celebration. We'll see it here in a second. Once you clear all the oranges, lights up with the fireworks.
Oh,
that was cool. Look close. That's what you want. Yeah, you want to avoid that as much as possible because you get this grand show, Ode to Joy blares, fireworks going, the ball bounces around those extra bumpers. That can easily add 5+ seconds to a level if you play it wrong. So one of the big things and one of the biggest, I believe, time sinks that still remains in Peggle speedrunning is really optimizing, avoiding those really long fever bounces where it can take 5+ seconds to beat the level. On the last level, you saw it was perfectly aimed where you didn't even get to hear the joy because it just shot through and ended the level in a second. That's what you want. Because if you spend 5 seconds every level, that adds up to minutes on a run. So I believe even the Peggle Deluxe World Record, which just went to 47 minutes and 53 seconds, spends like 3.5 minutes of that just bouncing around at the end of levels throughout the run. So a lot of optimization still. You know, we have really scienced this game to a point. But even again, there's still so much variability that the speedrunning world of this game is far from over in terms of like the human limit.
Yeah, and it will never be the human limit.
Yeah, there's too much variability. There's always going to be room to improve, even as it gets extremely difficult.
Also, they have been nice since Bjorn. They've given me some pretty good masters for the rest of Cinder, so I won't complain too much.
It went a little easy mode. So this is a level. These have been Cinder's levels, so this is a very nice level for Cinder. Doing some cool planned shots there. So again, those openers sequence, they looked kind of random, but they were planned. So to get that nice sweep there, get some stuff on the right out of the way, and then some good fireball planning. Look at that, clean.
Not quite high enough to get that. That's all right. No big deal. At least we get that nice little point boost. It's satisfying to get points.
And there we go. And now we start to see a bit of a difficulty spike in the run, particularly RMO. Jimmy's fine here. So these are the Warren levels.
But it'll be fine, actually.
We'll see if we actually see him and get to roll the wheel. This is where Warren's levels are designed, again, for the magic hat, but Warren has so much, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like inherent variability, that these levels are just difficult in any run you do. So having someone like Jimmy or like Tula that can really attack these large chaotic patterns is actually really good. We'll see here. Jimmy does pretty well on this level.
Yeah, that's a free ball from points,
about.
which is nice to have.
And bucket.
We never complain
okay.
about a free ball from points. Unless it's really, really slow, which does happen.
Yeah.
Well, then
Yeah,
what
but sometimes
can you do?
slowing down, this is a skill that I know I personally struggle with as a top speedrunner, is knowing when to slow down. It's a skill, because we were talking about these a level should take, less than a minute per level, but if you slow down and take a little bit longer, it's still better than a full reset, adding an entire extra minute. You add 20 seconds, 30 seconds to slow down, beat your level, still time save over trying to just full reset from the start. So this is very nice planned opener there, using the background pixels to get that same little slide right there.
We also have Marina, who's one of the
this.
best picks for this level. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, her Electro Bolt power, if you were not here before or we didn't get to explain it properly, I don't think we did, goes ahead and draws a line from the free ball bucket, which is moving around at the bottom of our screen there. Let's go to the first peg that you hit, and it clears every single peg in that line, so it's pretty nice.
Oh, okay, this is good. This is one of the best levels I think Peggle Nice has.
Yeah, I missed the slide there, though. Let's try on
We
this
can show
side.
the other half.
Let's go. Yes.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so we have
That's what it's supposed to
a
look
series
like.
of pixels that gets these slides. Unfortunately, the first one messed up, but because, again, we can't reset, we gotta live with Catsvet here. Thankfully, this is actually one of the few levels I think Catsvet is good for.
Or at least adequate.
Yeah.
Not
He's
the
adequate
worst.
at best, but he's
Soul,
trying. I'll give him
not
credit.
completely soul crushing, I guess.
But yeah, another thing we were kind of talking about with Claude as well, Tut will restrict the opening of the bucket to be closer to the middle of the level. So he can help not only with catching the balls, but you can plan around actually getting them in there. But you can see sometimes
He just
it just kind of
bounces.
sits on that pyramid edge. Yeah.
That's not what you want.
Ugh.
That's a real reaction right there.
This is one of the most difficult levels, I think, if you don't have someone who's good. This level can be fine. This is a really cool strategy here called a down shot, where you kind of normalize the shot to be facing downwards, do some taps around it. There's not a lot of cases for those, but where they are, they're very powerful.
Yeah, in this particular level, it's really nice.
Shapes like these.
Exactly, where there's a lot of central pegs and stuff like that. Can be very helpful. But yeah, use sparingly, but it's fun to see them when we do use them.
Yeah. So you can see what makes levels like these difficult, and we'll start seeing these more and more in these endgame levels. Typically, you have powers like Warren, who can have the hat. Or you'll see later on we have Who and Marina that can really tackle complex shapes. You can see that there's all those small pegs, the orange pegs at the bottom, I guess all the same size. Those orange pegs down at the bottom under that row of blues that was already buried under all those things on top. If you don't have a master that can really dig into things, like Claude's good for like pinballing around large open things, but not great for directionality. It's really hard to be consistently aiming with Claude. He just kind of helps, get the ball moving again somewhere. So we have to do a lot of work here now to clear out this middle section that Claude just afforded no help to. But
really no help, because I couldn't do that free ball nearly as easily.
Yeah.
This
On
one
top
that
of
I'm
these
going to do
blockers.
now. Good.
Nice. So we're gonna kind of risk that one for the reward. Ended
I
up
think
working out
it'll
nicely.
be okay.
was
Yes!
nice.
Beautiful! That was a really nice save.
And we're
That could have
rewarded
gone
for it.
much worse. So
Yeah,
I'm very happy to see that.
That was a good play around that.
Yeah.
So this is probably a good whose levels are gonna pick up. The next set of levels is gonna pick up here. So this is another good spot if you have anything to add. Keep up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, of course. I just wanted to mention, just as we're getting towards the end of day one, I just wanted to say that while we do appreciate every donation that goes towards Little Warriors, we also greatly appreciate just spreading the word about this worthy cause. So if you're on social media, you can also help us out by sharing our social media posts and getting the word out about this event, future events, and just Little Warriors in general. Type !socials in chat to get links to the Prevent-a-thon social media.
Absolutely. Yeah, donations are incredible, and we want to see more of those, especially to the wonderful incentives, but spreading the word, that's what really makes it all go round, because then people come and they see all the awesome runs and they go, whoa, I want more of this. What are we benefiting? Oh, it's an amazing charity? All right, let's get into it.
I'm in.
Exactly. So yeah, bring all your friends. Okay, cool. I was worried about hitting that
slow
peg.
here with the last wrap up. Yeah, sometimes you gotta sit here and just, if you're at the end of the level doesn't go super ideal, sometimes you're stuck just kind of like waiting.
Oh, not who we wanted to see.
I mean, okay, so Renfield has his uses, especially on a run. When you're going for like full speed on a run, he can be really annoying. But on levels like these where you're trying to play more safe,
I'll
this
take
is
that.
probably a good Renfield level, I'd say. He's not the pick you'd want. Like, you wouldn't pick him on purpose. But he's here.
But that wasn't bad.
And he's gonna help.
Also, did you mention his differences in Knights and Deluxe before, Helios?
I can.
Go for it.
One of the things that makes, as we talked before, there's some differences between Peggle Deluxe and Knights with the existing characters. Obviously, Marina, the squid, is not in Peggle Deluxe, but every other character is shared between the games. Some of them have differences, like Tula's power is actually buffed in Knights by getting an extra peg at the end. Renfield actually shared some characteristics with Who, the little aimbot owl, whose levels we're currently in, who adjusts your shot based on points. That is called the Zen power, and lends itself into some other mechanics like the micro Zen and so on, which you can talk about, but they don't show up in this run, so we did it at the start. Yeah. Renfield's power in Deluxe actually uses that a little mini Zen on top of the micro Zen, if you will, that will adjust where he comes back in the level to help get you some more points, to help clear some more of the level. In Knights, for whatever reason, they just coded that out. It's not in the game. So Renfield is a lot more random. He only drops through the level where he is. He won't readjust your shot. That is a weird top left up there.
Yeah.
Then sometimes you'll get some fun, you see so many generations of these levels. That's a wild one. Just having almost nothing up there. Very good for a fast clear. Oh, I cut the slide. Wait for it.
Not quite. That's a tough one to make happen completely, but we got everything we needed, so I'll take it.
Yeah, that's the other fun of, doing all these runs is sometimes you just see some really cool stuff.
Yeah, we don't normally plan to do that one with
time,
that strategy, so it's fun to see that slide.
Yeah. I remember for the first time ever the other day, Britcha actually caught, is you familiar with Peggle Deluxe, the Helix with every nice. That was
by
a
the way, that
good
was
shot.
Fantastic. That was good.
Wow.
That would have taken me probably about 15 more seconds to clear all of that. Maybe 10 to 15, something like that, without getting those shots. So very happy about that. Also, maybe Cat will like this. Let us live in this level.
Yeah, this is one where the level is so random that no matter who you have, you're gonna have to do a lot of work. So someone like Cat Tut can just kind of be inherently helpful. You're looking to survive on this level, not for speed. So
yeah, this
when you're in situations like that where you're just trying to safely beat the level, we harp on Tut, we harp on Renfield. They are good masters, and they're actually very good masters when it comes to things like score grinding the game is built for. But in terms of speed runs, they're just slower inherently, but they are very safe, and if played around properly, can be helpful. So we kind of like to joke around with them as speedrunners, but there's a use for everybody. It's a really fun cast of characters and powers. This is showing off a cool clear this level here. But I guess cool clear is a power you can do
cool
in here.
clear.
So
no, I'm not cool
clear
this.
of the level here. We're not full clearing this.
We're just doing that to the
clear
fun level because of y'all's donations. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, we're doing a interesting clear of the level. Oh, that was nice. Where we focused on one side first. Again, kind of building up that little fever meter there, knowing that we can chain together points at the end to get more. Oh, we lost 3-pup.
All right, well, no problem. We're gonna keep on going for now. Until they tell us to stop. Beautiful.
Okay. Dorn's fine here. This is a
Bjorn's
level where
alright.
you like. There's so many bricks.
Yeah, there's
you really
like
want,
this one in the
cinder or
corner
something.
here, so Bjorn might be useful
that's
for getting that. But yeah, and normally Who is here, as you can see in the background, Who's dream is to become a rock star. He wants to start the band The Who, literally. You can see it right there. The band apparently consists of himself, Tula, and Bjorn. Hey, Bjorn!
Yeah, so he's here. He's showing off his... I wonder how that works with like the lore of being in a Gruen dream. There's a lot of questions around the Peggle lore itself. Like, how are the masters in charge of placing the greens? Are they working with us? Are we working against them? You know, or like what's the whole Peggle Institute's got its secrets. But it kind of adds to a lot of the fun of just, you know, we spend so much time looking at these levels, you start seeing all the little details in the background and all digging through the wiki for all the funny quotes and everything. Figuring out what these characters are up to.
I've tried to figure out canon pronouns for several characters, and I can't. So, fun fact, Cat Tut doesn't have canon pronouns, Splork doesn't have canon pronouns, I'm pretty sure one other of them doesn't. But yeah, neither of them have ever had pronouns ever mentioned. So, have at it. Do whatever you want.
See, that's what Jimmy can sometimes do.
Yeah, just fall right off.
This
Thanks,
is
Jimmy.
one of the most difficult levels. Welcome in. This is one of the most difficult levels in the game. Someone like Jimmy, again, kind of the chaos theory can be... see, if he got stuck on that top one, hit the purple...
That would have been really
got
nice.
the bucket anyway, so it worked out.
Yeah, I got the bucket, which is good, but we still wanted more.
This is a really good generation, though. This is a very difficult level, because there's so much buried in those bottom stuff there, and there's just nothing on the left side. So again, this is what we're kind of talking about. Like, you can have all the skill in the world with Peggle, and a lot of speedrunners do, but you still are at the mercy of the random generation of the level every single time you get to it. So this is a good show of just getting really lucky, but also playing around the very difficult level. It's not to say that, oh, we just got lucky. You know, it's still a lot of skill into it, and doing fantastic work here. But I would say this is probably one of the best generations I've seen for this level in a while.
I would concur, so I'm really hoping I don't mess it up. Looks good. Looking really good. Getting a first try 10-5 in an RMO? Very nice. Especially with Jimmy lightning himself. I will absolutely take that victory. That is a privileged position to be in. It's Jimmy! Or not Jimmy. It's Warren. Maybe it's Jimmy. We could see him. We could see multi-ball.
Yeah. So this is where RMO is, I think, one of its hardest, is Marina's levels. Marina's levels are designed explicitly for Marina.
Especially this one in particular.
Yeah. So, so we'll see how it goes. We are not familiar with losses on this level in RMO.
Losses will absolutely happen on this level. It's like, honestly, nothing
Warren
to sneeze
is
at.
kind to us.
We'll see.
Because not only is these huge vertical shapes for that electro bolt, every peg is very slightly moving. So there really is not a way to strategize. Hey!
Electro bolt. Hi.
Okay.
We might win. Thank you, Warren.
We get and there's the hat.
Hi, hat.
There he is.
Let's go.
Looking. The purple. Okay, that. Wow.
Okay. I can't believe that.
Okay.
Thank you.
the RMO gods were watching out for
really
us
smiled down on us there. Yep. Really, really kind of them to do that.
This is fun.
It's actually not that bad. This is the only level where we still aren't sure which master is really definitively best. This is one of the only levels, and the only level out of the Marina set where it's not clear. So
yeah, and the things that kind of go into that is like the reason we're kind of like, oh, Claude's not terrible here, but like, oh, like Claude would be terrible on other levels, is the level design itself. Like Claude's power is pinball flippers on the edges of the level, and as you see at the bottom, all those bricks kind of guide the pegs towards those sides. So someone like Claude here actually is a little more beneficial because until the level is more broken, the ball will kind of naturally go towards Claude. You know, levels that are designed inwardly are better for someone like Cat Tut, or actually Claude even, because of the way the bucket is stuck in the middle. You know, versus someone like Cinder or Tula that will shred any level, no matter what you're looking at, and so on. So some levels are just kind of inherently better with other masters than others. That's what makes NG Plus routing really fun. The NG Plus route is pretty set I think it is pretty much just Tula. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
This level is weird, so
yeah, that's fair.
no
Hey,
real
there we
worry.
go. Okay,
And
this is
here's
much better.
Cinder, who we
Speaking of
would
Cinder.
use on this level if asked what we would want. So love that. We're gonna do wall fireballs, which we haven't actually seen since the beginning of the run. That is aiming in the left or right corners of the screen and then timing your ball bucket so that you can get these nice diagonals here. Pretty nice, pretty smooth.
And you can see we're already way better off than we were on the last run.
That's our MO for you. Good news though, that level we failed pretty fast. I wasn't trying to like really save it that well, unless something, you know, random and amazing happened like it did in 11-1. So that is the way to fast reset in this run, is just don't
Lose on
try
purpose.
that hard in the particular
don't
attempt
force it
that
if
you
it's not
have.
looking good.
Exactly.
And that's true in any other runs, but especially in our mode to reset for maybe a better master. But it's still the same roll every time. It's not like you can't get clawed again. And actually, there's been multiple cases where you'll get this, you'll reset and you'll get the same master in a row.
Yeah,
if you're lucky, it'll be with someone like Marina.
Hey,
But
speak
if
of
you're
the,
unlucky, you
speak
might
of the
just
squid.
roll cut again.
Oh yeah. Ah, come
No.
on. Why would you do that?
Ah, okay.
So rude.
Fortunately, we can't reset
That's one
to
of
get
the very
that.
few moments there. One of the few timings there that would not give you the stick in. Which is what we were looking for there. But that's
we almost
okay.
kicked the bucket up in the other one.
That would have been so cool. That's like mini Helix in Peggle Deluxe.
What we just saw there was a it's a weirdly consistent strategy for moving pegs. We've been talking about the difficulties of planning things out with moving pegs. A lot of the problems come from the pegs when they move very slowly and these very small movements. When you have larger movements like these with larger openings, it actually is, in my opinion, a bit easier to do consistent shots off them. So we've figured out some timings where if you aim at a certain spot and then roughly try to time the openings, you can actually get stuck in both of these. And for those of you who have seen Peggle Deluxe's Helix shot, that kind of rides the whole way up the Helix, this is kind of a little mini version of that, where you get in the bottom of it, and then you just ride it all the way up, clearing the entire thing in one go. It's very nice. It's a little slow, but in comparison to manually clearing it, it actually is way faster. So,
Yep. This is one of the slowest levels
There you go.
just in general on average. Almost no matter what you do. That one's always a little bit of a slow clear, but no big deal. Also here we have a nice satisfying slide all the way over into that green. We are back in Who land, so I'm going to try to look at where that purple is. All right, we'll let Who be on the right side of the screen and save the left side for later. That's kind of the strategy
yep, up there.
Let's see
Here
if
the
he gets
purple's
in.
buried,
Let's
so
go.
he's gonna... Oh, wow. Yeah, Who's been very kind today.
Yeah, the purple was buried, so I made sure to try to let him focus on that slide, and he got it. Who loves slides because they give lots of points. The more pegs you hit, the more points you get. And not just because, you know, every peg gives points, but also because the score calculation is the added number of all of the points from all the pegs. Well, plus, demonstration there. Plus the multiplied.
Imagine. Oh!
Ow.
Let's go.
Multiplied by how many pegs you hit in the shot, so it helps. That was so good.
Oh, I love Peggle.
The game is being so fun tonight. I love this.
Right?
Thank
This is a
you,
good run here.
I love this. Also, Jimmy, hi. Hi, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Jimmy's not going to
about it.
ruin our opener, though, which is all I ask for in this level, because this level has a nice opener. Fun fact, Brassbeat and I were stratting Peggle Knights at the same time, like literally at the same time, at the same day, a long time ago, back in the kind of infancy of the strats of this game, and we found this set of openers at the same time on the same day. We like posted them in the chat. We're like, hey, has anybody seen this? And then the other one was like, I did
Well,
5 minutes
actually.
ago. Peggle lore.
Oh. But yeah, this is probably a good time. We're about to get into the master levels here, which are the last 5, and they are very stressful.
Yes.
So this is a good moment for probably a last anything to add here.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to speak a little bit about the charity we're raising money for, Little Warriors, just to say a bit about The Little Warriors Be Brave Ranch program offers a 1-year combined on-site and outpatient program designed with significant input from many leading academic and clinical experts who specialize in child sexual abuse and trauma to create a specialized, intensive, trauma-informed, evidence-based treatment center focused on helping children, teens, and families who have been impacted by child sexual abuse trauma.
That is fantastic. Thank you for telling us about that. Little Warriors is an incredible charity, by the way, y'all. They do, like, really, really incredible work. We're doing such a great thing here trying to help them out. And if y'all donate, you would be contributing toward that incredible cause. So would absolutely love to see those donations come in. Let's get that bonus run. Let's get the Tails upgrade tomorrow, by the way. I would love to see that to that Sonic CD run. Would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, we have an interesting thing going on here. Welcome to Cyclone.
Yeah, I was trying to think of how to talk about what's going on here. This is this is one of, I believe, one of the most different. I personally do not like this level. This is a very rough level, even with an ideal master. So what these are is these are the master levels. So these are the, you finish your Peggle journey in adventure mode. This is the same for both deluxe and knights. As you have the last 5 levels of the game, you can pick any master, but they are exceptionally more difficult as a result. So even in adventure mode, you can choose who you want. An NG plus, so it's basically like a mini NG plus at the end of every adventure mode. Obviously in RMO, we don't get that luxury. So not only are these levels very difficult, we don't often get to do them ideally either. And unfortunately, we rolled Renfield here, who for a level that is so defined by these tight brick patterns, if y'all taking notes, you'd want to use someone like Cinder here, someone like Marina here. Yeah, worth the quick. Oh, okay.
Thank you, Kat.
We're just gonna run through everybody.
Yeah, Cyclone
you want
is
somebody who
hard,
can-
even with good masters. This is not surprising. It
This is
will
one
just
of the rough
happen.
levels, especially for like full clearing this level. Even with good masters, this is.
That's why we're not
talk
fully
about other
clearing this one. We're doing the last level.
This is sort of like the final boss before the other ones, which are difficult, but we've shredded them so much that they are less of a problem. This is kind of like the real boss versus the showcase boss with Shadowshine.
Mm-hmm. Although Shadowshine is hard.
But yeah,
it's
this
definitely
is-
not a cakewalk either. If you, if you're not having the most ideal of days, Shadowshine will get you. It's a tough one, and it's very hard casually. Very, very hard.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
So
So
here we can
that's
see
what I
Cat's
wanted
Hut.
to see the whole time. Doesn't guarantee a win, but it does help us out getting that big slide there.
Yeah.
I'm
And you
kind
see
of
here,
gonna
Cat's Hut's
bias
probably
some
gonna,
sides to the
so that's
right.
why Tut's not too great. Because even though you get this extra ability to bounce to the bucket, more often than not, you'll see this happen. Okay.
Well, at least we got
He
the free ball.
proved my
from
point by
that.
actually doing his job. The Peggle Institute. But here
What'd
we'll
you
see
get?
it. Or not, okay. So yeah, every time I'm trying to call it out. So you'll see, here, this will probably happen.
Oh,
Yeah, look at this. So it just hits the
brutal.
rim and just sits there for a few extra seconds, and then also misses. So that's why he's not super great. He's not too consistent at what he does. We still love him, but yeah, not the strongest power in terms of clearing the levels consistently,
Or
especially
quickly.
at speed.
Luckily, that time we did get past that, so whew, at least we don't have to deal with that anymore. Oh, cool. Good miss.
Ah,
That's all right. Bjorn will
let's see
help
what's
us with
point
the
for the
next
double
one.
Bjorn.
Yeah, exactly. That
Yeah,
helps.
these are some very nice slides here. There we go.
They're just
So these
pre-made
are
by the
cases
level.
where, yeah, you can aim roughly and get them, like we're gonna do here for this other one. But we also do have like a consistent shot rather than kind of sitting there and trying to line it up yourself. We do have like a consistent pixel. Talk about those pixel shots, those openers. So always get those slides, and if you can aim that quickly, great. You can also just eyeball it. That's the fun of Peggle. You don't have to do all these crazy shots to make things happen. Sometimes they just work.
Yep.
Levels like these though are very difficult.
Yeah,
Bjorn's
this
like
one's a
good
tough
power, but
start.
there's so much buried that unfortunately he helps you, but you are looking for some extra help. The reason that I personally like Bjorn a lot is that you're still in control of your shots. He just kind of helps you aim versus some of the other powers that will like ooh, that was very good. Like Tula, Splork, Cinder, they all clear extra things for you. But Bjorn, again, you're fully in control. He just helps you aim stuff. So that's really good for precision, especially at full speed, trying to get through levels very quickly. But in terms of safety, or on levels like these where you're early-ish in the level, you can see that even though the left side's gone, the right side's still very buried. So Bjorn just will not be a help if you have no way to aim in there on your own. So, unfortunately, not the greatest pick for a lot of this stuff. But what's nice is that all these are static pegs. So theoretically, you can free ball everything. And try to risk a shot. Oh,
well, I couldn't really free ball all that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there weren't
the idea
lines.
there was to go for the risk and hope it pachinko'd through there into maybe at least one orange or at least a free ball. And unfortunately, just the, what's the three body problem? You can't predict beyond the first couple bounces yourself. That's what Who does for his power. But even with the best amount of planning in the world, you as a speedrunner mentally are only really going to be able to see a few bounces into the future of your shot there. So if you're going for a lot, good luck. But you can see here, Marina is, I believe, the ideal pick for NG Plus here.
Yeah.
And you can see why with that Electro Bolt, wide sweeping shots diagonally across the level to clear things out in both wings.
Of course, Britcha would contest that. Another fun thing about this set of levels is that you can pick whoever you want in any percent. One of our top runners, Britcha, picks totally different things than most people does. They pick Tula for almost
Tula
all
for
of them,
everything?
except for Cyclone, which is just Cinder.
Of course.
Which is just rational.
Yeah. So that's the fun is that, so even though this run is entirely randomized, there's still a lot of variability between speedrunners when it comes to like the NG Plus routing. Deluxe, I believe, is a little bit more variable because in Knights, like Tula is just so much stronger. The NG Plus run typically just tends to be Tula. But yeah, like certain levels are definitely more suited. This is a really good generation of this level. Wow.
Yeah, this is a nice one.
So yeah, this is a very difficult level for anybody.
We always want to see a lot of these orange pegs like high up. In the level, so that you don't have to get them later.
Same tower
in the same row, which is nice, or column.
So having that right side be almost nothing is absurd, just from a generation standpoint, and just very nice because we're talking about getting those free balls from like extra points. If you chain things together, you have a much better chance of getting those all together. So not only are you clearing the level by having those oranges together, you have a better chance of being safer on the level, or just threading the needle. I love Peggle, but so yeah, that's kind of one of the big things is we don't really talk about it too much, but it's another general strategy.
I'm gonna let Who try to finish the level.
All right, this is
just
bold.
For fun.
I don't trust Who at all.
Let's
He's gonna miss at least one.
Let's
I'm gonna
try
watch it.
it.
He's gonna miss one.
Let's try it. He'll be fine, right? Right, chat?
I've been burned enough. Oh, he did it. Okay. Nice.
I would have been okay probably if he hadn't been fine.
Okay. So another thing is that oftentimes when you have powers like Tula or I guess any master really with the powers, is you're often looking for where the greens are. So someone like Splork is a very strong power, but that green up there didn't really do too much. The one on the left is a lot better. So in a regular run, you would reset to try to get Splork's greens in a better spot. Try to reset Cinder's greens so he's available on the first shot, and so on. It's like a second or two of time loss, but can drastically save your level if you have a better access to the power early on, or later, depending on how you want to play it. In RMO, you don't have that. So, we have this case where we rolled Splork, good left side, terrible right side. We have to roll with it. So, unfortunately, we can't get that better positioning there. This is also one of the most difficult levels. We joked about Cyclone. This is a very difficult level. Typically destroyed by someone like Cinder, Tula, or Marina. Again, with all these bricks, all this stuff under all these blockers. But thankfully, many strat hunters, Poetry Stud is famous, half jokingly, half really, for over-stratting this level with some really cool series. It's like 10 plus strats in a row. A lot of these levels nowadays have these like really long sequences to help you full clear a level for other speedruns that require that kind of tactics. But they can also just be used, this level is very difficult, so why not do it in a run to be safe? And there we go.
Oh, spooky ball. That's bad. No, that's actually bad.
Yeah.
Like quite bad.
So here we
need
are,
to full
the last
clear
level.
this level. This is one of the few masters I really did not want to see.
Yeah.
We might just lose and have to redo it. So thanks to y'all's donations, we did meet the full clear the final level incentive, which this is it. Welcome. And I was looking for somebody who's not Renfield, because Renfield will end up messing up our openers. This is what we're kind of going to rely on to try to clear the level here. Full clear it, which means clear every single peg, not just the oranges. And yeah, we're going to try to use these consistent shots to make it so that so that we can just clear all those pegs out.
Yeah,
this is the first one that's going to mess up.
Set.
Yeah.
Maybe?
It's not that bad,
Okay,
actually.
he's stuck
I
to
think
that side.
those are fine, actually. Yeah, that's
Everything
fine.
in the left is safe. There's always that kind of risk of he's gonna try to do something else. Now this might not help. So it'll hit some random things. That's good to hit.
Yeah, that's at
That
least
purple
good.
one's a bit of an odd spot.
Yeah.
That's a difficult angle. So yeah, this is the last level of the game, by the way. This is Shadow Shine. This is the lore of Peggle Knights wrapping up as they all wake up from their dreams. The sun rises, completing the circle of Peggle. Back to Deluxe with the daytime. But yeah, so this is our last level here. Every peg is blocked by these purple blockers here. Some of them peek out like this one, making this a worthy challenge for the last level. Not easy to freeball anything. Not only you can't take direct shots, but you also have to bounce off of things to get under the spots there. So doing that long series of openers to consistently set up your level, to consistently get free balls back from the bucket. Because if you can take the same shot every time, you can also time it with the bucket. I don't think we actually mentioned that. You can time it with the bucket at the bottom to always get the same opening and a free ball back every time. So you're kind of eyeballing the bucket timing yourself. It's pretty lax, but interestingly, the game runs at 100 frames per second for some reason. So you have a lot of frames to work with.
Nobody knows why.
Yeah. So usually pretty straightforward, especially once you know your angles to time that with that free ball bucket. Even like now, where see, that's nice. These angles kind of make it way more difficult to line it up, like we saw there. These are easy shots if they weren't blocked, but they're blocked.
They're blocked. Yep.
Now, Cat Tut's who you want for, surprisingly, we know we've been harping on the whole time. If you want to do a long set of openers that you don't want interrupted, Cat Tut is perfect, because he only affects the bottom of the level. So,
yeah,
you have a chance to be a little bit more helpful.
This is probably going to work. I'll just say that here. I don't know for sure, but it will probably work. Pretty likely.
That's kind of the downside of the full clearing side of things, is that oftentimes, it kind of switches up the meta. Powers like Cinder or Who that'll affect, they'll do extra things for you, will actually work against you if you are trying these like really long-winded, pre-planned ways to full clear levels. Obviously, these are more marathon-safe strats. You obviously don't have to do these to full clear the levels, but, months and almost years at this point I've gone into figuring out these long series of, if you just do these same 20 shots in a row, you'll full level for free, right? So.
Yep, exactly. 3Pop, if you have anything you'd like to say, kind of to send us off in this final level of the first day, this is a good chance to do it.
Yes, I just wanted to shout out to chat. If you're enjoying what you're seeing here on Prevent-a-thon 4, and you want to maybe help out in any future events, please be sure to join our community Discord, where you can get notifications for any upcoming events. Type !Discord in chat to get an invitation link. And if you need more incentive, there's also been a lot of cute animal pictures being posted today.
Oh man, I gotta catch up.
Absolutely.
My cat was loafing so hard today. I'll post it later.
Perfect. I want to see that. Come to the Discord so you can see Helios's cat. He's very cute.
Yeah, it was funny to see. I left for work and they were like loafed on the couch, and I came back from work and they were still.
I got it.
Good catch. Okay, so that can also happen.
That was very unlikely. That was very, very unlikely. I definitely did not plan for that, unfortunately.
Yeah. So when you're full clearing a level, there is a good chance that you will accidentally hit the last orange and finish the level early, which is obviously not good for full clearing the level. So sometimes it happens. More often than not, it happens. Gotta kind of play around it, and sometimes again with just Peggle's luck that happens with the chaos theory of the bounces. Sometimes it just
It'll happen.
Unfortunately, if you're playing through in a run, it will actually stop you from resetting the level if it goes in the bucket. So that's why Satan was like frantically hitting the menu, trying to Otherwise, we'd have to go in the quick play and do some kind of funky stuff to be able to play this again.
Yeah, that would
To
be
full clear it.
not our favorite.
But yeah, that is for those of you who like the full clearing completionist style, there are a lot of speedruns like that, actually. There's a whole community. It's kind of cool that Peggle as a speedrun genre itself actually has a lot of different genres of speedrunning. So you have like just a raw speedrun where you try to beat the game as fast as possible. You have these versions where you play the NG Plus game as fast as possible, which you can do with one master, you can do with picking your own masters, you can do random master. There's also, like I said, there's an entire separate like points-based thing or like full clearing thing where you can 100% the game, clear every level. You can get every ace score, which are like dev set points. You can do all the challenges. You can do all of that in one giant run called the Ultra Extreme Grandmaster and get a cool trophy.
Okay,
And
game's
be one of the
being
few people
mean.
on that leaderboard.
I'm gonna do an executive choice and pick Bjorn.
Fair.
Sorry.
That's why he's the best.
So we did break Arma rules. I decided to pick Bjorn because
Hear about this.
he will help us full clear because he can help us see bounces into the future. And also he doesn't mess up our opener sequence. Very important.
Yes. So yeah, there's something for everybody within Peggle, and we'd love to have you. Like I said, it's literally just speedrun Peggle. All you have to do is just run the game. You don't have to do any of these cool strats. They're obviously welcome, but we'd love to see more people on the board. We have like 500 plus people now on the board. It's grown a lot in the past couple years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people playing Peggle, which is fantastic. We always want to see more people getting interested in our little game here.
Yeah. My favorite response to any time we run in a marathon is, "You can speedrun Peggle?"
You can
And it's
speedrun?
like, yeah, just come play the game.
Yeah. No need to worry about experience level or strats. Do whatever you want.
And I have to give a kudos to
of
people that
play.
like figure out. We talked about the strats, but there's just a huge shout out to the people that actually sit down and figure all these things out. It's something I'm not too great at myself. It's incredible what you can do with this little game. Again, you can speedrun Peggle. It's all these like 10 plus sequences of shots to full clear a level it's been like months and years of planning by the people that do these kind of runs to figure these out. So it's a very cool community where there's something for everybody. Good angle there.
Okay, we're gonna get some topper pegs over there, so that's at least nice. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to kind of clear out our left side here. Oh, not quite what I thought was going to happen
go back
there. Okay, at least
Maybe?
we got something.
There we go.
Getting something is better than nothing. And then I'm
Yeah,
going
so
to
kind of leaving
try
that
for
right chunk
this.
down there.
Good.
Nice.
Real quick before we finish this up, can I butt in for a quick donation read?
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
please.
We're gonna be here a second anyway.
Yeah.
We have a very, very special donation of $89 from Evan
Whoa.
Ooh.
that says, "I strongly believe that we must prevent-a-thon whenever possible." And
Agreed.
with that donation, we have reached $500 raised for Little Warriors.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's amazing. Woohoo. Oh man, wow. The game is being mean today. Quite mean, in fact. I'm gonna take one more crack at this. If we don't get it, that was a pretty close attempt. We had 4 pegs left on the board, I think, which is pretty good for just a random little shadow shine clear. But we're gonna take one more crack at it. So come on, chat. Let's see if we can
I'm
do
leaving
it.
the script. We gotta save it for this is the last one. One more.
Exactly. One more, and we'll do it. Exactly. But thank you so much for that donation. That's incredible.
Absolutely. Yeah. Wow.
Wonderful. I love seeing it. I love the music in this
Peggle
game,
beats
by
in
the way.
background. I was just saying the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the Peggle beats.
Peggle beats.
I tend to listen to other music, but there's the PopCap classics. You can't. They're just so fun.
It's
so
just
nice.
infectious. The beat.
And I don't. I should have done some digging on this, but Peggle's music is actually dynamic. You hear a lot about dynamic music in video games, as a boss fight progresses, the music will ramp up and so on. Or my favorites in Pokemon Black and White, where the low HP music kicks in, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This game's from the late 2000s, and Peggle Deluxe does it as well, but Nice really does it. Is the music changes based on how much of the level you're playing. So like the closer you are to the end of the level, they add more layers to the instruments and so on. And it's again one of those just small little PopCap quirks that they added to just so much like life into this game. If you kind of stop and like as a speedrunner, stop and breathe. It's fine. Just pay attention to your game. It's a very nice touch to it all.
This is looking good.
And this is looking.
I like this attempt.
Ooh, that's. See,
We
that's
just have to
good
be careful.
Amount of points.
Yeah.
But yeah, careful and with
Good,
such an
that's
unpredictable
good,
level.
that's good, that's good.
This'll be fun. Here we go. Give that energy.
All right, chat, we're
May
probably going to do it here, so...
May Bjorn shine upon these bounces.
Ooh, that's not what we wanted to see. There we go, that's what we wanted to see.
Oh.
That's what I was looking for.
And...
That's gonna be
With
an
that-
ultra extreme fever!
Extreme Fever!
Ah,
Ode to Joy.
woo!
Wicked. Wrap it up.
That's the run! GG. Thanks for letting me try that a couple times. I'm glad I got to show it off. Prevent-a-thon, the autumnal title of Master of Peggle. We did it all together! Woo! And that was random master only with a small caveat at the end. That's all right. That's a very
Random Master
clean
Bunny
run, by
featuring
the way,
Bjorn.
up until the end. Very few losses for an RMO run. I'm pretty happy with that. A lot of fun stuff happened. But yeah, it's been an amazing day of Prevent-a-thon. I've been Satan herself, or Satan isn't herself on Twitch. If you want to come find me and see more Peggle runs, this is a lot of what I stream, but I also stream Plants vs. Zombies. I'm also a Plants vs. Zombies runner, and several other games. But yeah, I love Peggle Nights. It's probably my main game. But we also did recently create a fan game called Peggle Fevers that I'm running a lot of. So yeah, Helios, where can they find you?
Same name, Helios WX. I don't stream as often as I'd like to. I'm currently actually speedrunning Minecraft until the end of the month to try to beat another speedrunner. But I do speedrun Peggle Deluxe pretty often. We are currently trying to get the game below 45 minutes as like an ultimate barrier. It's gonna be a while till it happens, but we're kind of gearing up. A couple of us are gearing up for a grind to really bring the time down. So in the future, come check us out.
Yes,
We're doing some really cool stuff in the game.
definitely do that. And also, there's a nice speedrun history video that Poetry Stud, who we mentioned
Hi,
before,
Poetry
came
Stud.
out with recently. So if you want to see the speedrun history of Peggle Deluxe any percent, there's a really easy video for you to be able to do that out right now. So if you're interested in Peggle, either playing it or watching it, there's so much going on all the time. We have a really active, lively speedrun community that we would love to see anybody come to. This is such an amazing marathon. This is my last run here, but I am going to be back on the host mic Sunday, so I'll save all of my pieces there. But this is such a fantastic marathon. Thank you so much for letting us be part of it. I'm really
Thank you very
happy
much for
to
having us.
have been able to debut Knights RMO as a marathon run here at Prevent-a-thon 4. Awesome.
As a reminder, Satan invented this category, so even better.
Woohoo! And thank you so much, 3Pup, for being an incredible host. You are awesome.
Yeah.
Hearts. Thank you for having us.
Alrighty, yes, thank you, Satan. That run of Peggle Nights was incredible. We're at the end of the night, but the amazing runs have only just begun. Make sure I have been your host, 3Pup. I've been so happy to show you these runs, and I'm so excited that we have more runs coming up ahead. Please make sure to tune back in tomorrow at noon Eastern Time for some more great speedrunning. But until then, please hang on for the raid, for we're raiding Mitra's playing Enotria, the last song.